Have you ever uprooted your life, chasing that elusive slice of serenity, only to stumble into a silent battlefield you never saw coming? I thought I was just settling into a fresh start, unpacking my dreams one box at a time. But nope, turns out, I'd unwittingly declared war on a neighborhood tyrant who ruled with an iron fist disguised as community guidelines. If you've ever tangled with a shady homeowners association, you know the drill. This isn't your run-of-the-mill nosy neighbor tale. It's about how one relentless engineer toppled a web of deceit that had strangled an entire town. Stick with me, old cheer, when the underdog strikes back hard. I'm Alex Rivera, 38, and for over a decade, I'd been engineering sleek urban lofts for high rollers craving skyline views. Funny how I crafted escapes for others while drowning in the chaos of Seattle's endless grind, sirens wailing, jackhammers pounding day and night. Burned to a crisp, I scraped together every dime for 3 grueling years, sold my bike, my gadgets, everything but the essentials. Finally snagged this cozy chalet in Evergreen Ridge, Colorado, the humble 900-square-foot spot with 3 rooms, a single bath, and a porch overlooking endless aspen groves. The air was crisp, the silence golden. All I craved was space to tinker with designs without the city's roar invading my thoughts. Moving day was pure bliss. It was a crisp Wednesday in mid-October 2023, skies clear and golden leaves crunching underfoot. The 2-hour drive up winding roads felt like shedding old skin. I'd rented a compact van loaded with my workbench, laptop rig, some threads, and maybe 24 crates of blueprints and knickknacks. Low maintenance of me tools, strong brew, and a quiet corner, and I'm set. Pulling into the drive, I lingered in the cab, breathing it in. This was my haven, my break from the madness. I spent the day easing stuff inside, low-key tunes humming from my phone, munching a quick wrap. Felt more at ease than I had in ages. But around dusk, this ominous growl approached like thunder, but mechanical. Peering out, I spotted a hulking silver SUV screeching in, tailed by a sheriff's car. My gut twisted. Emergency? Wrong address. I'd barely been there 5 hours. What could I have botched? The door thundered like a battering ram. Opening it revealed 2 deputies, badges gleaming, faces stern, and behind them, a woman in her late 50s clad in a crisp jacket, clutching a notepad like a shield. Her grin was all teeth, no warmth, eyes drilling into me like I'd stolen her secrets. "Mr. Rivera," she purred, voice dripping false honey that set my nerves jangling. "I'm Margaret Hawthorne, chair of the Evergreen Ridge Homeowners Association. You've breached Bylaw 7C. No relocation or building work past 6 p.m. This constitutes a disturbance infraction." I glanced at my watch, 9:45 p.m. Then at the deputies, back to her. Was this a prank? I'd been whisper quiet, no power tools, just shifting paperbacks. Standing there, mug in hand, chills seeping through my shirt, I replayed my life choices. The loans, quitting my firm, torching bridges for this dream. If this was a setup, I was the punchline. "Ma'am," I replied, steady as I could. I've kept it hushed all afternoon. Music was barely on. How could I bother anyone? Her smile sharpened, predatory. "The bylaws are explicit, Mr. Rivera. 6 p.m. cutoff for such activities. The reports logged. These officers ensure adherence." One deputy, looking almost sheepish, chimed in. "Sir, halt all moving. You'll need alternate lodging tonight till this clears. Leave my own home." My blood boiled, but arguing felt futile. Margaret's smug gleam screamed she'd rigged this. Exhausted, I grabbed a duffel and blanket, trudging to my van as she lorded over my porch. Huddled in 35-degree frost, staring at my lit windows, doubts gnawed. Was this random pettiness or something sinister? She'd eyed me like prey from the jump. Little did I know, that hunch would unravel a nightmare. Dawn hit with a crick in my neck and fury in my veins. As an engineer, I fixed messes. Time to dissect this one. I headed to the local archives, hunting association files. The place smelled of aged paper and polish. Behind the counter, an older lady with pinned gray hair and keen specs sized me up. "MS. Clara," her tag read. When I asked for Evergreen Docs, her pause lingered, loaded. "Follow me," she murmured, wheeling out stacks towering like accusations. "They file everything publicly since 2008. As she stacked boxes, her voice dropped. Years back, locals eyed ecotourism rentals to boost the economy, but it fizzled. Someone squashed outsiders stirring things. Her tone quoted Venom. I bet whose. MS. Clara, what mess did I buy into? She scanned the empty room, leaned close. Tread lightly, son. Margaret twists lives for those bucking her perfect vision. Left alone with the pile, unease prickled. Early files were tame. Trim hedges, quiet after 9 p.m., fire protocol sensible stuff. But post, 2015, rules ballooned to 250 plus, absurdly nitpicky. No blue blooms, they clash with serenity. Lawns under quarter-inch always. Patio gear in sage, khaki, or muted tones only. And fresh, no short stays over 36 hours sans board nod. These weren't protections. They were snares, vague enough to trap, harsh enough to terrorize. The tourism flops? MS. Clara hedged, but spilled. Families tried legit B&Bs, permits in hand, but Margaret buried them in complaints, audits, suits claiming value dips. They folded, dreams crushed. Click. This was control freakery. Margaret weaponized the association against threats to her domain. But why me? I wasn't renting, just living. Unless she feared I might. Unless she guarded her own turf. That epiphany halted me in the lot. What if Margaret ran rentals herself, axing rivals? No proof, but instinct screamed jackpot. Instead of warring, I'd comply to a fault. Engineers decode regs like puzzles. Vague ones crumble under scrutiny. Next day, I rolled up precise. Tiny van under length cap, crates sized exact, suit on, gloves pristine, camera logging all. Looked nuts, but nuts might win. Margaret materialized fast spying, clipboard ready, saccharine sneer. Mr. Rivera, yesterday was merely standards enforcement. Comply, and we'll smooth it. I beamed. Absolutely, MS. Hawthorne. I've memorized the bylaws, full adherence pledged. Then tape truck dims meticulously. Her facade cracked as I hauled each item surgically. Silent 8 a.m. to 5:45 p.m. Brakes timed, snaps galore. She circled, frantic for slips, but not I was flawless. By afternoon, she snapped. That crate juts 0.4 inches on the path. From afar, no tool. I lasered it. 0.2 inches per section 13D. She flushed crimson, stormed off. Moved in spotless. Victory? Huh. Evening email, Mr. Rivera barred from overnight visitors exceeding 18 hours. Fines for unlicensed lodging ops. Boom rental paranoia confirmed. She wasn't policing, she was monopolizing. Time to unearth her dirt. The association gathering was in a dated hall, nerves electric. I'd prepped like a trial, suit, slides, proof bomb. Folks trickled in, dodging my gaze. Gossip painted me villain. Margaret swept in regal, dossier poised for my takedown. Routine biz droned. Then she pounced. We address a menace eroding our peace, Mr. Rivera's blatant infractions. She spun me as chaos incarnate. Silent room. I rose, evidence counters. Projector lit. Timed vids of silent moves, ceasing early. Gasps built as I shredded claims with metrics, quotes. Then, this visitor ban stifles families. Why so draconian? She bit. To block disruptive commerce like motels. Hook set. Fascinating. I clicked, flashing her archived listing. Her chalet as Serene Alpine Retreat at Premium Bucks, 2016 to 2019. Pandemonium whispered. Your own venture, MS. Hawthorne, the threat you outlaw. She blanched, excuses fumbling. Room shifted. A vet gripped my hand. Finally. But her venomous exit glare? War declared. Retaliation was savage. Dawn tape. Fence post over by 0.1 inch. Hers match pure vendetta. Notices snowballed. Succulent hue off. Drapes mismatched. She stalked daily, rumors flying. I'd commercialize, tank values. Neighbors ghosted. I became invisible, isolation clawing deep. Then shampros poked my yard, muttering codes. Heart raced at every shadow surveillance state vibes. Crowning blow. Certified mail demanding $50,000 plumbing overhaul for hazards on my fresh install. Crushing. Nearly quit. But a referred handyman, grizzled pro, inspected. Prime shape. Odd. Margaret hushed a fortune on hers 2 years back. Secret overkill? Red alert. Enter Laura Mitchell, bulldog lawyer. HOA grafts rampant. This stinks of fraud. She urged victim hunts. MS. Clara pointed to Harold Jenkins, ex-boarder exiled. At his tidy retreat, he brewed Joe, story tumbling. Ousted for expense probes, but documented all. Files exposed. Tapes of Margaret's scheming rival wipes. Emails purging questioners. Blocked e-collages. She'd looted funds for her upgrades. Faked violations to force sales. Ran her empire on association dime while banning competition. Emails with officials plotted her tourism stranglehold monopoly via theft. Laura, this is embezzlement, conspiracy criminal. Her demands? Cover for her illegal sprawl. Harold's proof. Blueprints of her hidden Annex 4 unpermitted cabins, funded by $80,000 siphoned. Zoning violations galore. Special session packed, air crackling. Margaret quivered, suit sharp but poise fractured. Laura dissected. Harassment logs, her rentals hypocrisy, embezzled ledgers, $55,000 plus. Murmurs swelled to roars. My finale. Explain these. Screen blazed her secret complex stolen empire exposed. Outcry erupted betrayal raw. She crumpled, lawyer shielding. Ousted, charged, her realm razed, restitution ordered. 8 months on, she's leashed by court, awaiting felonies. I thrive, new board heals. Mountains whisper peace, my vibrant blooms defy her bans. Bullies like her, they're fear in disguise, destroying to cling. But here's the controversy. Should HOAs be abolished as breeding grounds for tyrants? Would you expose a neighbor's crimes if it meant appending your community or stay silent to avoid the backlash? Have you faced a control freak who deserved worse? Drop your takes below, smash that like if it hit, and subscribe for more your stories. Keep the conversation alive.